Hey everyone, Josh here with a look at another Star Wars toy. And today we're looking at a toy from the Power of the Force collection. This is the Imperial speeder bike with Biker Scout. And this is of course from Return of the Jedi. And the Power of the Force collection, I believe these guys came with the red card and the green card as well. You could buy them in both. And I'm going to go ahead and pick him up and bring him a little bit closer to the camera so you guys can check him out. I'll just spin him around first so you can get a look at all sides of the vehicle. And the first thing I'll tell you is the figure is removable. He's not permanent on here, and I'll show you how that works in a second. But really the only thing holding him on here is his hands on the grips. So you just kind of pop his hands out of there and he comes off, and he is kind of in an awkward position because he rides the bike, but he does have some good movement and everything, so you can stand him back up. But even when you stand him up, you can see he has this really wide stance and his arms are locked in the position like that, so you can't extend his arms out. He doesn't have any elbow movement, it's just shoulder joint movement. And his head does move up and down like this, but there is no side to side. And his legs move at the hips and the knees because he has to get on the bike. So you can see there's how his hips work. Okay, but I'll just give you a real quick look at the figure up close. You can see what he does and what he looks like. So, and then we have, of course, the speeder bike. And everyone who's familiar with this toy knows it has a little secret trick to it. And what you do here is, if you look at this little pack on the back right here, when you push this button down, the whole thing is going to explode. It's going to turn into 3 separate pieces. You're going to have your top, your front, and your bottom. And if the pilot is on there, the Biker Scout's on there, it's actually going to fling him off too. So it's so you can recreate an explosion with the bike, and of course it all goes back together. But one of the other things I want to show you guys before we explode it is, you'll see the foot pedals, and they actually do something. So if you look, when you push down on the foot pedal, you'll see the back little flap goes up and down. So when you push it, it goes up. You push the pedal down, the flap goes up, and they both work that way. The only bad thing is though, when you have the figure on there, his feet don't really hit the pedals. So, and this little handle here moves a little bit, and then of course you have the main steering handles, and they just are kind of like little hinges. They go forward and back. And then of course underneath you have the little blaster gun here, and it does rotate 360. But here, let's go ahead and put him on here again. I'll show you guys how you do that. You just want to put his knees in a bent position. You kind of slide him on there and put his hands on the steering handles. And there you go. That's how you get him on. It's really simple. And so you're going to be playing with your Biker Scout here, and you're going to be flying along. And then, here comes a rebel, and he shoots you, and boom, there you go. And the whole thing disassembles, and he's down and out for the count. So what you're going to do, make it easier, take the pilot off, or the Biker Scout, and you'll see there's a little pin underneath there. And so what you're going to do, and here's how the thing actually launches. If you see, there's this little tab here that's spring loaded. And when you push the pack down here, you can see the little catch releases, So, but you have to have the top on for it to work right. Just kind of trying to show you guys how it works. So what you're going to do is you just slide it down, and it clicks into position. Then you take the forks for the front, and you just slide them in there, and they snap into position. And there you go, it's all back together again. And here, I'll show you guys how it works one more time. So you're going to push the pack down, and the whole thing pops loose. It's spring loaded. And once again, you just kind of take the front or the top part and line the hole up and kind of push down and back at the same time, and it will engage. You'll hear it click. Oops, I didn't get the front. There's a little tiny clip here at the front too. You got to get into position, so it's a little bit awkward, but it works fairly well. It's a pretty well designed toy. I've had this thing for a long time, and I believe it's just an exact copy of the originals from the 80s. They work the exact same way. And there you go, it's all back together. And we'll insert our Biker Scout on there. There we go. And there he is, everyone. There is your Imperial Biker Scout and Imperial Speeder Bike. And thanks for watching, everyone.